Brandon, it's amazing to have you here.
Thank you. It's
Good
great
to see you again.
Yes.
So, the Walkaway movement, you've come a long way. When did this
Long way,
start?
baby.
Is it a year now? Is it longer? Not
No.
quite a year.
It's not even 9 months yet. So, if I conceived Walkaway, I would be about to birth the movement right now. Yeah, no, we're right about now. I think we're right at about 9 months. I released my video on May 26th, which was the day before Memorial Day.
And how many views is it up to now?
Well, that's hard to gauge because the original version that I put out, I think, has about 3+ million views, but people started copying it. And I don't know if you're familiar. There's a social media conservative named Anomaly who I absolutely love. Do you know Anomaly?
Of course.
Love him.
Actually, I think he's likes us a lot as well.
Yeah, he's great, and he huge engagement on social media. So he
Right.
gave me a huge boost early on when he saw the video. He loved it. He copied it. He actually reached out to me and said, "Do you mind if I copy it and put it?" I was like, "Please." So he did, and his version got 4 million views within the first week. So I mean, if you kind of take all the different people who've copied, I mean, really, it's in like the tens of millions, honestly. Because I just wanted to get the word out. I didn't care about, if I got all the views singularly. I just wanted people to see it.
And just to kind of recap for our viewers and so forth, you give us the thumbnail version of what happened. You created this sort of seminal video that got all the views, that basically told the world where you stood.
Yeah. So I was always a liberal, and at my entire adult life I was a Democratic Party voter, and I just think it was because I was a gay man, and I think that the Democratic Party and the liberal media and liberal ideology, they do an amazing job of targeting minorities in America, and a lot of us, I think, end up voting Democrat just kind of by default without even really putting much thought into it. And so I voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016, and I feel like, for me, I don't even know if I would have changed my mind. I know I wouldn't have changed if she had been elected. It actually took something as extreme as Donald Trump getting elected for me to, he got elected, and then the media just like completely went berserk. I mean, they were bad enough before he got elected, but it's interesting that after he got elected, they didn't make the decision to kind of be like, okay, this didn't go our way, but let's kind of like try to make the best of the situation. They decided to double down on all the same behaviors: the lying, the fake news, the spinning, the false narratives. And once
you got suspicious or something, or what happened?
Well, yeah, I mean, once it started getting really extreme, because I started to kind of question, like, why would anyone vote for this person? You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't have the strongest impression of Republicans. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I didn't like Republicans, but I was like, how could I be living amongst like hardcore Nazis every day? And it's like, I'm not seeing the signs. With the news, when I turn on the news, they're making it that. Yeah, they're like, everyone who isn't you is in the KKK or a Nazi or whatever. And so I started just asking people, like, why did you do this? Why did you vote for this person? And one day on Facebook, I made this like proclamation where I said, I'll never be able to understand how you people voted for a man who stood before a cheering crowd and mocked a reporter's disability. And that's when this woman reached out to me, and she was just like, look, I'm just asking, have you seen this? And she sent me a clip entitled "Debunking that Trump Mocked the Disabled Reporter." And it was a compilation video of Donald Trump doing that exact same voice and that exact same gesture as he did that day when he, quote unquote, mocked the disabled reporter. But the commonality in all the different footage was that he was just imitating someone who's caught in a lie or caught doing something shady. And it showed so clearly that the media had taken that moment out of context and spun a narrative, a completely false narrative. And that really bothered me. I mean, I found it disturbing, and then I started kind of researching, well, when else have they done this? And how often are they doing? What's the frequency? And I started to discover that this is something that they do all the time. Now, you all, people on the right have known this for a long time. This was like an epiphany for me. It was just completely mind-blowing.
We never saw ourselves as being on the right.
What
I
do you mean?
I don't know if you know that, actually.
Oh no, I don't know that.
Well, no, like this is we're truthful media. That's been our MO all along.
Yeah. I didn't mean media.
No. But that's this is what's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of became these we suddenly realized that we're these crazy conservatives, right? When we
Right.
published this article called "The Odds of Donald Trump Becoming Mr. Brexit," this article was incredibly controversial. We were writing what we thought was just truthful information. There are these lines of evidence that suggest he could win. We
Yeah.
didn't say he will win. We said it might happen.
Yeah.
And some people were thrilled, and other people really hated it. We got lambasted. You
Yes.
know? And I'm like, what is going on here? This is so weird. This is just the situation, right?
Yeah.
And no, 100% Hillary's going to win. I don't know where you're getting that information. That sounds really biased to me. Like if you were following Selena Zito's reporting, for example, and that kind of stuff during the campaigns, you would, this was the kind of stuff she was saying. I'm out in flyover country, and I'm not seeing what these people are saying.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's interesting. I think
Yeah.
the Epoch Times itself had its own kind of self-awareness process in all of this. Yeah.
And yes, I think that's probably true. I mean, it's the difference between a media that does its job and just tells the truth and asks the questions and gets the stories, and then it's the liberal media that we're up against that I always say they actually begin with a conclusion and work backwards. And the conclusion is always something based in
Trump is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the
It's
conclusion?
based in some sort of accusatory notion about someone else's morality. Trump is a racist. Trump's supporters are all bigots. This is the conclusion that they begin with, and then they work backwards, and they go and they just, grab anything that they can grab onto, any little soundbite they can find, and that's their evidence. And then they create the story. They're not searching for stories. They're not looking around and asking questions and telling the truth. They start with a conclusion and work backwards, and I think that's what's going on. And they are fake news. It is fake news.
Fascinating. So you kind of went through this journey. You watched a bunch of videos that people made, right? That basically showed, hey, wait a second, that what you heard as the narrative, the evidence that the president was X, Y, Z, ain't quite cutting it here.
Right. Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, so that sent me on a journey of research to, not only find out how often the liberal media had lied and all the things they lied about, but also I began for the first time in my life really being willing to listen to and consider the conservative point of view, which is something I was never open to before.
Mm-hmm.
And so over kind of the course of 2017, I took in a lot of information, and the conclusion that I came to was, oh my God, I'm a conservative, and some of it were things that I had always felt all along, and some of it were things that I changed my mind about after I really put some thought into it and kind of went back and forth. But by the end of 2017, I was like, okay, I'm a conservative, and I considered myself a Trump supporter. And then in 2018, I made a decision to no longer be afraid to talk about it because I was.
Right.
I was keeping it to myself. It was, and I think that's, again, where being a gay man kind of prepared me for this, because it's like I've already done the closet thing before, and I've already kind of gone through that period of my life where I was like hiding something and felt ashamed about something, and I was like, I'm a grown man. I wanted to say something else. No, but I was like, I'm a grown man, so it's like I don't want to do this again, and so I made a 6-minute video where I said everything that I thought was wrong with liberalism and the Democratic Party. I put it out and I encouraged other people to make videos too, and I called it the Walkaway campaign. And I created a group on Facebook for people to go make their videos, post them and use the hashtag, and it just sort of exploded, and that's where it began. And then, of course, we've grown and grown from there.
So a lot of people, it sounds like what you're saying, felt like they just couldn't talk about this. Like they had the same feeling, like,
oh yeah,
but was it the social pressure? Was it that kept them from speaking out?
Well, everyone's testimonial is a little bit different, and that's what I think is so fascinating is.
How many people, by the way, now? How many?
Well, in the original Facebook group where it all started, we have a little over 200,000 at this point. We actually had 215,000, but Facebook went in and decided to remove 15,000 members one day on our behalf. Yeah, and the reason why it's so crazy too is that so they can put out their little phony, oh, we did a bot sweep or whatever. These total lie explanations that they put out there. We do I have the most amazing volunteer team, amazing, and they do an incredible job of vetting all of the new members. Before anyone can join the group, they have to answer a series of questions. We go and we kind of check out their social media and see what is, why are they really, if everything on their social media
This
is
is just the Walkaway group, just in case anyone out there
Walkaway campaign, yeah.
Walkaway campaign. That's what
Walkaway
they'll
campaign
look
on
for.
Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, and so everybody is thoroughly vetted before they join the group, and so if Facebook wants to say, oh well, these were bot accounts or something, no, that's not true. They literally just dumped 15,000 of our members. But in that original group, at this point, we have around 200,000. And then on all social media platforms, we think somewhere around 400,000 because we're on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Right.
We have a great YouTube. If people are not on board with Facebook, which I understand, they can check us out on YouTube because we've put hundreds of our, if not 1,000 or so, of our testimonial videos on Facebook or YouTube.
Do you have some kind of a compilation video of all of these basically situations that have been taken out of context, something like that?
Oh, like the media stuff, the Trump stuff?
Right.
So one of the things that we're actually going to do, one of our goals between now and 2020 is to come out with our own video series, and we're going to do a whole bunch of videos on a lot of different topics and have like guest speakers, really cool, kind of like PragerU does, educational videos with animation and a guest speaker on a theme. And one of the topics that we really want to attack is liberal media myths and lies and bias, and showing people very clearly what they do and how they do it, and encourage people to be skeptical and analytical again when they're watching the news. So that is something that we're going to be addressing.
Fascinating. And you were going to tell me about some other kind of compilation videos that you do have already, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about those. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have a patriot in our campaign named Mike Boss. He's a Hollywood film producer, and he just kind of as a hobby almost has created these amazing compilation videos, and we have at this point probably 4 or 5 of them. He's created, some of them are long. He's done several that are like 30 minutes long, but he's also done ones like on specific demographics, the black community, the Hispanic community, the LGBT community, and it's a compilation of black people walk away or LGBT people walk away, and they're 5, 6, 7 minutes long. And he created a movie using Walkaway testimonials called The Great Awakening: Breaking the Chains of the Democratic Party, and that's available for people to watch for free on YouTube. The Great Awakening: Breaking the Chains of the Democratic Party.
Fantastic. Brandon Straka, such a pleasure to speak
Great
with you.
talking with you.
Look forward to the next time.
Thank you. And can I say something directly to your audience?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Please do.
And to you too. I just want to say that of all the various media publications that we've worked with and that have been really good to us since we started Walkaway, the Epoch Times has been one of the very best. You guys have always done really incredible, very truthful, and very supportive works about Walkaway, and I want to tell you how much I appreciate that, and I want to tell your viewership and your readership how much we appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Well, wonderful words to hear from you,
Thank
Brandon.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.